What's happening, everybody, man? Thank you guys tuning in to another episode of Coach Code Podcast. Got my main man, Mr. Alex Piech in the house. What's up, brother?
What's happening, bro?
All good, man. Talking about getting that haircut.
Yeah, I gave up on that, obviously.
Too busy slinging real estate.
Yeah, you know what, though? So, I was back and forth to Connecticut for the whole summer. I can get a great haircut for $20 there.
Yeah.
It's $50 in Frisco.
Yeah.
So part of it is I'm like really cheap now. So I've like doubled the length that I go between haircuts to stay on budget.
It is, man. I even noticed it here. Been going to Troy, for a couple years now, and yeah, man. Like I walk out of there sometimes, I'm like, dang, that doesn't make sense.
Now I'm throwing around tips in Connecticut, and the guy's like, "Do you want change?" I was like, "You don't understand how cheap this is compared to what I'm used to."
So it's just funny. Kind of leads me, to talking about kind of what's relative with that, right? Even with the real estate side of things, and I was just thinking through, when we were rocking with the brokerage and what the average sales price was in Frisco at the time. I mean, what is it up to?
The average price in Frisco this week is $1,043,000.
Get out of here.
It's insane. Now, this actually, for the real estate side of things, I think this is really important because the average price is $1,043,000. The median home price has actually gone under 7. Okay. So like that's a huge difference, right? Like the median's under 7, but if you're a buyer in the market, you're seeing the $1 million price tags.
Right.
And I was just talking about this yesterday. It's funny that was the first question you asked, because for real estate agents, the narrative that is being pushed across the country is home values are going down. Home values are expected to drop, right? And they keep talking about this, and they keep using the word median home value. And this like takes you back to middle school mathematics, where you learn the difference between the average and the median. The median is literally the middle number. Well, we go from 7 million home sales to 4 million. So there's way fewer home sales. And interest rates go to 7.3%, which means buyers' affordability goes down. So what happens? More buyers are buying the lower end product because that's all they can afford. So the middle number shifts way down. So the median is down. But the actual home value, the customer's home value, is still appreciating and going up. But that's not the narrative that they ever want to share, right? They just want the doom and the gloom. Real estate is collapsing. But look at most markets. I think we appreciated last year to 6.5% in January through July of this year. Dude, I had multiple offers on every single listing I had on the market.
Man, it's bananas. And I'm glad you explained that and articulated it, because I think a lot of people don't understand that. And it's get caught into the narrative, and you have to understand the narrative that the mainstream media wants is that they sell doom and gloom. That's how they sell eyeballs and sell advertisements. So understanding, that is just their business model. So looking at that, I mean, shit, what was it? 300,000-400,000 when we were rocking. So just in a short period of time, how much it's gone up?
Yeah. 53% in the last 3.5 years.
So that pushes everything out, right? For the most part.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point when real estate was in a frenzy right in the middle of the pandemic where, every house got 30 offers. You couldn't touch anything. So people couldn't live in Frisco, Prosper, Salina, McKinney. They had to start going out to Melissa, Anna, Van Alstyne. So, they were trading affordability for the time and commute.
Right.
So that's what happens when it becomes unaffordable in some of these areas or super competitive. Well, now we've kind of seen, okay, inventory has gone back up. There's more homes to choose from. Rates have gone up, so there's less competition. So what I'm seeing is the impact on those outer areas. They're being hit pretty hard because now people can come back and actually move back into Prosper, Frisco, Salina, McKinney. Even though the rates have gone up, you're not having to pay $100,000 over asking price. Like, that's what people don't understand. It's like, if I put a house on the market at 650, it sold for 775. Yeah, you got 3% interest rate, but you paid 125,000. Today, I put the same home on the market at 650. It sells at 650 and you have a 7% interest rate. So you really have to look at what's the monthly payment? What's the difference? Is there even a difference from the people who had to pay an extra 125,000 over asking price when things were going crazy? So I've started to see that bring people back to the Frisco, Prosper, McKinney, that North Dallas area.
Right. Something that, as I'm listening to you talk and Alex, I mean, I think you're, the most articulate, skilled, knowledgeable agent on the planet. So how important, like, as you were articulating and explaining the market, how important as a real estate agent, professional, expert, how important is to have today being if you're really wanting to thrive in this market, how important it is that that information, that you are able to articulate that information?
Yeah, so I like to refer to it as being the knowledge broker. If you don't know the market, you're screwed. Number one, you're going to most likely allow your client to control the process. So you're going to have sellers having you put homes on the market at prices that aren't feasible, which now is going to cost you marketing dollars, time, or you're going to end up losing the listing to a canceled or expired. And seasoned agents are going to use that against you to say, well, why would you list with this person? Look, their last 5 homes expired off the market, right? So as an agent, the things I'm tracking, what is my list price to sales price ratio? How does that compare to the market? What is my listing takens to listing sold ratio? How does that compare to the market? What's my days on market? How does that compare? So when I sit down with a seller, I can articulate the market, get them to understand, and then I can say, by the way, my homes are selling for 7% more money than all the other agents on the market, 32 days faster than average. So I can actually monetize what that means to them. But if you don't know the market, you can't have that conversation. You have no form of differentiation. And people, good quality sellers want to hear this. I had a listing appointment yesterday and I sat down and I told the person their home was worth $675,000. Okay. They had an agent in before me who said, I think we could put your home on the market at 825. That's a huge difference.
Yes.
But I articulated what was happening in the market using the actual numbers, explaining and breaking these things down. And he just turned to me and goes, man, I had a feeling that agent was not in touch with what was happening in the market. This makes perfect sense. I think 675 is the right price. Imagine having a seller agree to list their home for, what is that, $150,000 less than what the previous agent just recommended the day before. But he immediately knew. He knew I knew the market inside and out. That literally just put a bunch of questions to the previous listing appointment. Like, how could they be so far off? I'm showing, by the way, this is very important. Don't tell, show. Show the data. Bring the graph. You can talk about it, and I don't care if you spread it all over the kitchen table. You got to have it so they know you're not bullshitting them. That's the graph. That's who produced it. That's the number. I'm going to talk to you and spin it into stories on how it relates and other client experiences, but you have to have the data.
Where are you studying? What are you paying attention to? Where are you getting that data?
So I think everybody needs to be part of Keeping Current Matters. I think their prices finally went up to $39 a month. Remember all those years it was $19? I am still grandfathered into that $19 a month, but Steve Harney, the owners over there, they do a great job of giving you the high level, what I call 30,000 foot view of the economy. State, it's not hyper local, but you'll understand what's happening with inflation. You'll understand what's happening with buyer foot traffic, home values. You'll know what the Fed is thinking. You'll know with NAR, Mortgage Bankers Association. You'll see their surveys, their graphs, their expectations. And he explains it to you in a very easy to consume way. But then you can download his PowerPoint presentation and use those slides, not just in marketing, but in your listing and buyer presentation. So I think that's number one. Number two is you need to be studying your MLS hot sheet every single day, every single morning. How many homes are pending? How many homes came on the market? How many homes are failing to sell? So what I like to do is on Monday, I take 30 minutes and I go to the MLS and I put in all the cities that I service and I look up all the actives. I want to see how many actives, what's their average days on market, what's their average price. Then I switch to closed in the last 30 days, average close price, average days on market, list price, sales price ratio from the original list price, not the modified reduced price, because that's going to look better. I want to know what's the percentage people are moving off their original price to what they sell for. And I actually chart that in an Excel spreadsheet every single Monday, week over week. So I can go back and I can see the rate of change, which gives me a good kind of finger to the pulse of where I think the market is going. And then I'm always looking at the absorption rate, the month's supply of inventory. Is it creeping up? Is it creeping down? And that'll really let you know what's happening in the market, because then you can put your seasonality patterns over that right now. And you'll have every talking point you need to blow buyers and sellers out of the water to where they're like, dude, we get it. We've not spoken to anybody who understands the market at your level. And then if you have a kick-ass presentation and marketing plan to back it up, it's why I can get a commission percentage that's higher than the norm, plus administrative closing fee on top of that. Like, by far not the cheapest agent in our area, especially as you know, Texas, these people are dropping commissions, flat fees. So I compete against that all the time. And right, when you differentiate yourself, you can retain the value that you're worth.
Right. Absolutely. And because I mean, it's to have it and articulate it, two things. How do you recommend, one, knowing this information, but then you get face to face, but how are you putting it out there where the eyeballs are at? Are you, I mean, I know you have the YouTube channel. I mean, are you doing anything social? Are you doing anything that kind of puts that out there? Yeah.
This thing right here, every question you get from a buyer or seller, you should be putting on video with your answer. Every time something happens in the market with interest rates, with incorrect headlines, you need to be the person. And what's cool is with social media now, it's so easy to do, right? They've got the green screen app on Instagram where if you see a bullshit article, snap a photo, screen share, go to your Instagram, put that as the background with the green screen effect, and it's your face, and you could be pointing, like, you see this bullshit article up here about home values? Let me tell you why that's wrong. And then you could have the conversation about the difference of the median value versus average value. And now you are educating people in calling out the inaccuracies of the major media and the slants on the real estate market. But video, I do video every single day. Not only I do my long form on YouTube, but shorts and reels and lives, Facebook, Instagram, those types of things. I will tell you what I think is another killer. If you're scared of video or you don't know what to say, Keeping Current Matters rolled out something called Real Talk, where they give you the actual 60-second video. It's important that it's 60 seconds because now you could do it as a short in a reel for YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. You can keep it as reels. And they give you the talking point to where it scrolls on your screen and it pops up the graphs in and out that support what you're saying. It's like $79 a month. If you do that plan, You also get the monthly market update, the social media post, you get their full package for like 79 bucks a month. For the average realtor, that's a good investment, because imagine if you posted 4 videos a week talking about things that are circulating right now in real estate, and you were positioned as the knowledge broker with a great call to action of, hey, if you're thinking about buying or selling, let's connect, send me a DM, and we'll put together the best home buying or home selling strategy so you can take advantage of the opportunities in today's market. You wrap up every video with a good call to action, but they look awesome. And what I like about it is it's scrolling, but your eyes are looking at the phone, so people can't even tell you're reading, because you're not like reading off a teleprompter. It's right under the camera. So they've really done a good job. I think everybody should get on that.
Oh, I love it. I didn't even know they had that piece there. So that's awesome. I want to shift a little bit, Alex, just kind of some of your thoughts for, especially, speaking to real estate agents, and we look at, where a lot of agents are struggling right now, but there's only 3 things, right? It's traffic, it's conversion, it's fulfillment. And I think a lot of agents can do a decent job at fulfilling, once they get a client to agree to work with them, they can fumble it. Worst case, might not be the best experience, but can get it to the closing table.
Sure.
So it comes back down to traffic, and it comes back down to conversion. And I think where a lot of agents are struggling is the first, right? With traffic. So where are you seeing where, not only you, but where agents really need to give their time and their energy and their resources around traffic?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, the hard part in answering that is it depends on your budget, right? If you came to me and you're like, hey, I'm all set up, I've got $1,200 a month I can reinvest, I think Google pay-per-click is your best, because it's intent-based searching. And the conversion of those people, you're going to get some people who are looking to do something in 90 days. You'll get a bunch in 6 months. You'll get a bunch in 12 months. They've got about an average of a 9-month turnover rate on that. So that's going to be like competing with Zillow, because that's what Zillow does. It advertises, it gets people searching on their website. Those people search forever. And then the minute they're ready to go look, they click a button that says, tell me more, share the listing with somebody else. Your websites and your CRMs will all do that. They have those behavioral notifications. You just got to get people searching on your website. So anything that's going to build your traffic to your website. But you need about a $1,200 a month minimum budget in most markets to make that make sense. If you don't have that and you want to go social media, I think everybody should be on YouTube right now, because you could leverage model home tours. You could leverage yourself. Listen, even if you don't have new construction, if you don't have new construction in your market, then just go talk about your market. If you have a market where people are relocating in, you should be on YouTube every single day talking about the pros and cons of living here, the cost of living here, living in this city versus that city. You should be doing interviews with the local municipality, the ISDs, the school districts. If you want to be the knowledge broker and you want to be the area, the connector, right? The expert of what it's like living in Frisco, Texas, then you got to produce that type of content. The good news about that is that's fairly free. You can do most of that. Like I do all my YouTube stuff with my cell phone. So like nothing special. I don't have any crazy setups and gadgets. I've got that in $100 gimbal to keep my video stable. That's really it on that. I think YouTube, and those leads, by the way, they're extremely high quality. They're usually not interviewing anybody else. They've connected with you and your personality. And you can control the price point. So like I'm putting out a lot of 700 to $1.5 million properties. So I'm getting a lot of 700 to $1.5 million buyers. I did an interview with a builder in the Fields development. There was no houses there. As you know, I mean, it's dirt. They're building the models. So I just called one of the builders and said, hey, can I interview you about what it is your product line is bringing to the Fields? That interview, without showing a house, has already put $1.5 million buyer under contract with Britton Homes. Anybody can do that. We did it on a Zoom call. I recorded it. So that's a good one. Facebook, Instagram, common buyer seller questions, posting those with, frequency. Go out and show a home and take people. Hey guys, I'm out looking at this beautiful home behind me. We're in Allen, Texas today. I'm waiting on my buyer. I figured I got here about 15 minutes earlier. Let me go open it up. I'll give you guys a quick tour. You could do that every single time you show a buyer. Get to the first house 15 minutes early.
I love
And now
that.
you have content that is constantly putting you in front of your sphere and reminding them, I'm the realtor you should be working with, without you always having to be, hey, I'm never too busy for your referrals, or that person, right? Just remind them, I'm in real estate. I'm in real estate. So like, those are free, easy things. Open houses. You should be doing an open house on Saturday or Sunday every single week. Do not stop. If you guys would do that for 90 days, if you just did one per weekend for 90 days, you would have 3 to 5 working hot buyers that you are actively showing homes to.
Yeah.
Those people are in the market and it costs you absolutely nothing. Call your broker, call other agents on your team, in your brokerage. I had my agent on my team set up an alert. So every time an EXP listing gets listed, she gets an alert, just like she was a buyer in the MLS. So now I said, now you call that agent. You said, hey, congratulations on your listing. I saw it on the MLS. Pictures look awesome. Just curious, are you doing an open house this weekend? You're not. I'd love to host an open house for you. And like, just make that offer every single week. Then I laid out the perfect plan. Once you get it, you do those calls on Tuesday. On Wednesday, right, you could go door knock the neighborhood. You could circle prospect the neighborhood. Hey, my name is so-and-so. Not sure if you noticed, we just listed John and Mary's house down the street. We're going to be doing an open house this weekend. I'd love to invite you in. By the way, if you know anybody who wants to move into your amazing neighborhood, invite them as well. Now you could follow up. You could do a social media post. You could do a Facebook Live. There's so much you can do leading up to your open house. And then you have the open house and the follow-up with those buyers as well. So there's multiple strategies, all of which cost you absolutely nothing to do.
Right. What about, and I know you've done a really, really good job of this in the neighborhood that you live in, but like trying to just get some consistency in the neighborhood, doing the things, like what are some things that have worked really, really well for you? And I know it takes time and it's consistency, but what are some of those key things if somebody's like, okay, hey, I got it. I'm gonna drive some ads, got the YouTube, social media, open houses. Man, I live in a really good neighborhood, or there's a great neighborhood that I would love to, that has it's prime for the picking. What would you say? Hey man, if you're not willing to commit to this, don't even bother.
Yeah. So consistency with everything I just said up until now, none of it works unless you are consistent and give it enough time. Most agents quit when they're on the brink of the breakthrough. Anything you do, if you only have a 5-month budget for Google pay-per-click, don't do it. You need to have 12 to 18 months because that's what it takes to really get that bad boy like spitting out money at a 10, 15, 20x ROI. If you go to your neighborhood, you have to commit for at least 12 months, at least 12 months with your strategy. But my neighborhood geo farm has been $100,000 a year GCI every single year for the last 2 years. I've only been working it 2.5 years. I got committed. I got into it. First 6 months, it was like, oh, is this really worth it? I'm sending a postcard every month that cost me $800 a month. I'm doing all the events. I'm sponsoring the school. That's another $500. Oh my God. First year in, I spend $17,000 and make 110. So most people on this phone would spend 17,000 to make 110.
Right.
This year will be well over $100,000 again, and I've refined my budget to where I can spend about 15,000 on 800 rooftops, just to give you an idea of cost per rooftop. I send out a postcard every single month. My postcards take you from offline to online. For example, if it's a call to action of get a home evaluation, I bring you online. Now I can pixel you and I can now show other social media ads to you. I can get you to sign up for something, which is what I did, is I had everybody sign up for the monthly market update. So we've got 780 plus rooftops, and I've got almost 300 of them now registered with their name, email, phone number to receive my bomb. I do a bomb video market update just for Miramonte. So half of the rooftops, I have your email address and they watch me every month. And I just do a quick video. What's up, guys? It's your neighbor and Miramonte real estate expert. Today, we're doing the August 2023 Miramonte real estate market update. Let's dive in and let's take a look at what's happened in our neighborhood in the last 30 days. Here's this home, this home, this home, this one. This one sold, this one sold, this one didn't sell. If you guys have any questions about your home value or what we're seeing in the market, reach out, right? So I do that for 2 years straight, plus they're seeing my postcard in the mail, and then I started layering in community events. So for 2 years now, I've done the last day of school, the ice cream social. This past year, we had 360 families come out, and they all got a nice soft serve ice cream. Like I brought out like a Mr. Softy ice cream for 2.5 hours. We had bag toss, we had everything, we had people set up, and they actually hung out this year and everybody was taking pictures, posting it on our community Facebook page, thanking me, which gave me even more exposure.
Yeah.
So I did that. I've done that 2 years in a row. We did a movie night. Somebody brought a blow up projector we've done. We did Santa's coming to Miramonte. We had a Santa Claus dress up and throw out candy from the back of a pickup truck. It was all decorated, and he made 7 stops throughout the neighborhood for pictures. So we made a like candy striped map with the candy cane is where we're stopping for photos. And like that was awesome. And it's all relatively inexpensive type stuff we're doing. The ice cream truck costs me, with the ice cream and the postcard inviting everybody, about $1,700 for that one event. But that is the best money possible because these people are posting you on social media, taking pictures with you. It's just great content. So I went all in on it, and I've enjoyed it. My family's enjoyed it. You know, we go down to the community pool every single time we go. Somebody comes up and introduces themselves, says, hey man, I love the content you're putting out. I watch all of your videos. So you really do kind of build up that brand recognition, and it gets your foot in the door. When people are thinking real estate, they do call you.
That's what we want. And man, you've done a great job with it. I loved seeing the video from the ice cream social at the at the end of last year. It was crazy how many families, how many people were there.
That line went all the way down our amenity center, down the street, down the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Like, it's awesome, but then my nerves are like, oh my God, people are going to get pissed off. They're going to be waiting in line an hour and a half for their ice cream. But, you know, one year I did koozies, drink koozies. So we're handing out drink koozies. Another year I bought the drawstring little gym bags, like pool bags. We handed those out. So now we're handing out some swag things that people are going to keep in their house or bring to the pool, things like that. So we try to think through. We did cornhole. I had custom cornhole. I had it made with all my branding and everything on it. So those were set up. So we're doing little things like that. We're now doing giveaways. So here was my iteration on that. And I also did trunk or treat with our elementary school. I brought my golf cart, like I put our tent up and we were just handing out candy. But I was like, man, how do you give back, but you also are in business to make money? How do you do that? So what I did is I bought a beautiful like Yeti 110 cooler, couple $100, and I just did, hey, we're raffling this off, just sign up. And I got a QR code. Dude, that right there got me 50 to 70 people new to my mailing list. And that was in the elementary school. which is in my neighborhood, but there's 3 other neighborhoods that don't see what I'm doing in my neighborhood, but they do now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the iteration. We started just giving away stuff. For the ice cream, we gave away a gift card to the new pizza shop, and they enjoyed it, right? Because now we're getting them recognition. We did 2 or 3. I had a VIP pass to the FC Dallas soccer team, VIP, the whole deal. So we gave away a family 4-pack of 4 of those. So I've really started stepping up with the giveaways, because now I capture your information. Now, guess what I do? I do a Facebook Live in the community Facebook page. Hey guys, we're about to announce our raffles. It's another opportunity for the people who didn't come. Like, damn, Alex is doing a raffle for what? We thank everybody from coming out. We announce the winners, and then guess what? We go drop off the winner. When we drop off the winner, we take a picture. We post that on the Facebook page. So we get all these touches throughout the process.
It's absolute gold, man. It really, really is. And it's making those connections and developing, relationships and developing trust. And, no matter what happens in real estate, we always said, right, it's always going to come down to a decision of trust. And, what are you doing to make impressions, to build authority, to build trust, to where they believe that you have the path to help them achieve what it is they're wanting to achieve. And just like the example you gave, the 850, 675 example, they believe that you had the knowledge, but you also had the path to get them to really achieve what it is they're wanting to achieve. Because high price, it sits there, they come down, they probably lose money, and versus positioning it right in the market in the first place.
And when you have the data, it's right there in black and white, right? Like, I was able to say, okay, let's look at all the 850 homes in our neighborhood. Every single one is a 2-story. Every single one is almost 4,000 square feet. There are at least 4 beds with a home office, or 5 beds with a home office, with a media room, with a game room, 2 or 3 car garage, right? Now let's look at yours. Oh, you're about 900 square feet smaller. You don't have a 4th and 5th bedroom, right? So now he was like, oh my God, like, I see that. And then I can say, look at all these 850s. Look at what happened to their price. 850, 825, 799. At 799, they got an offer. They sold at 775. And then I was able to show them all the 3,000 square foot homes. Look, they started at 750. They went 725. They went 699. They went 675, sold. And now I'm not telling them where to position the home. The data is.
Right.
Immediately in his mind, he's like, where the heck did that other agent get 850?
Where did they come up with it? Yeah.
Pulled it out of their ass to try to get you to sign the listing. And then they'll chase you later after you're aggravated to price reduce down. But that's a strategy. I'll overpromise just to get the listing. But when you have data and you could show them, this is not my opinion. I love your house. I think your house is great. But look at what buyers are doing. Like, so
takes it off of you being the bad guy, and position. It's not me. This is our process. This is a system. It's proven. The market's the bad guy. What's the market?
What's funny is, as we're sitting down and I'm showing him this data, he's like, dude, I got to tell you, 2 houses down, they're putting their house on the market at 930. They're ridiculous. There's no way it's going to sell. When I look like, now he's telling me why the neighbor's going to be overpriced and where he needs to be positioned off of the data I just showed him.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Like, now you got instant credibility. He saw it. And now you always listen, you want them to like come to their own conclusion, because then they can't argue with it. Right. So like this, when he was like, yeah, I was thinking we probably, based on that, like, if I can get 700, I'd be really happy. I'm like, man, you're spot on. Like, now it's like, dude, you're right. You're like, you're so smart. You understand the market. You build that instant rapport, you playing up their ego, you got that good connection. And now I didn't have to talk him down from 750, 850. He's already telling me, well, I think it'll probably sell at 7. That's way better than 50 we started at.
Yeah, you can't win that battle. And it definitely sets yourself up for failure. And I think that's what we're going to see a lot with a lot of agents right now, because they don't have the skills. They don't know where to, learn what we just talked about they're not willing to invest in themselves to gain that to gain that knowledge, to build that confidence, to be able to have that type of conversation with the seller. And so they're just overpricing things. So they're buying listings, they're overpricing, and they're cutting their commissions.
Yep.
And so that's how you combat that.
I don't know how many people are on or will watch this, but it's always interesting to say, okay, who here has gotten their license after 2000? You're
Right.
gonna see a whole bunch of hands go up.
Yeah.
And you can even go back to who's got their license since 2018. Even more hands go up. Most real estate agents have never had to get a price reduction.
No, think about that.
They don't even know what it is. They're like, what do you mean reduce the price? Like, they've only seen a market where house goes on market. You sit back, hundreds of showings, multiple offers, you pick best offer. So that's their experience. Now, there's nothing wrong. I mean, that's just been the experience. That's the market. But this is where now you need to get skilled, because skills are really going to matter more now than ever before, because
Right.
a huge percentage of agents have never experienced this market. They don't know about price adjustments. They don't know how to reposition, but you better, or else you're going to be one of those homes that is failing to sell. And just like last year, if you go back to my market update videos in June or July of last year, I was like, guys, the second half of this year, you're going to see a ton of expireds. That is exactly what happened. Then the market got really good in March, April, May, June of this year, and prices went up again, multiple offers. Well, guess what happened in July and August? Everything slowed down. So what's going to happen now? You want to know one of the pillars I'm in? Expireds. Now, I didn't do anything in expireds February, March, April, May, because everything was selling again. But I
Right.
did a ton last year, and we made about 90,000 in GCI between January and July, relisting expireds. And guess what? Most of them, they just, I hate to say, they picked the wrong time to list. They listed as the market was slowing down for the seasonality curve. All I had to do is put them right back on the market at the right time. And we were selling homes for more than what they had expired off the market for. So guess what's going to happen now? All
I
those
mean,
people who listed in July, August, because of the April, May, June market, they're going to be listing up here because that's what they think. But seasonality curve is doing this right now.
right.
So they're going to expire again in November and December.
Yeah.
It's the seasonality curve. You got to know your seasonality curve.
And explain seasonality curve, because not it's like you go back to 1819, people don't understand what that is.
Yeah. So so the seasonality curve is if you take all the homes that will sell in your market, I'm going to use 1,200 homes. If every month was the exact same demand, you would sell 100 homes per month for 12 months. That's the baseline. Well, if you go from 100 and in 1 month you sell 200, and then 1 month you go from 100 to 50. So you have to understand, how does that chart flow? What months outpace seasonality and what months are less seasonality? And you will get your charted graph. Some people, it's going to be Q2, Q3 look like this. Q3 starts down, Q4 is the lowest month, and then January, February is really small, and March starts to, it looks like a roller coaster, okay?
Right.
You have to know your seasonality. And when I say seasonality, I want you to know it in two ways. Sales, when are the most homes selling? But you should also know, and KCM has this chart, it charts over the last 48 years, the appreciation seasonality chart. Most people don't even know there's one of those. So what that tells you is when you look at 12 months unadjusted, January, almost no increase in home values. December, almost no increase in home values. February, small tick up. March, pretty good jump. April, really big jump. May, really big jump. June, the biggest jump. July, slightly less than June. August, it comes down. And then that thing tanks all the way kind of down. Now, homes don't lose value. But let's say your home appreciated at 12% annually. Does it appreciate at 1% a month for all 12 months? No. You might get 8% of your appreciation in 4 months, which now means the other 8 months don't feel as strong as those 4 months. It's like, man, why did I have multiple offers in those months? Seasonality, and that's where the home value appreciated. We're now getting into October, November, December. You don't lose value, but home values usually don't go up. So that is your time to be a little bit more aggressive, knowing you might only get 0.25% appreciation in October. So when you lay that over, you can start to understand, now I know why March, April, May, and June were gangbusters. And then July and August were like, what the hell is going on here? It was a little bit different with the seasonality curve, with sales, and then the appreciation curve. Check that one out. That one is awesome because it literally goes green bar, green bar, green bar, green bar, red, 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 green, green, green. And it's like, and the red is not where you lose value. It's the difference of, remember how I said a normal would be 1%?
Right.
The red might be like 1/8 of a percent, 1/4 of a percent, 0.5%, where the green means in that 1 month, you gained 1.5 or 2% appreciation in the month.
It's good, man. It's great to have that knowledge. And then being able to articulate it and lay it out in front of, the clients that we're working with and help them come to their own conclusions, and also making, just making better decisions, being more aggressive in what you're doing with your positioning and also kind of your activities in the marketplace.
Yeah. So, if it's April, May, I might push your home value a little bit more aggressive.
Right.
Because seasonality is on my side. If we're November, December, I might say 675. Yeah, but we probably need to go 665, get a tick below to create the frenzy, get you multiple offers, and then we'll sell above. We're not going to push it in this market because the seasonality, the number of buyers, all those things are working a little bit against us comparative to when the market is red hot.
Right.
So you make better decisions as the agent, but you need to explain to the client, why am I making you this advice? It's all based on market research and data that's been charted over 48 years so that I can put you in the best position. Because if I didn't know this and I priced your home based on the CMA, the 90-day ago sales, we're going to miss the market. We're going to miss the market. That data 60 days ago isn't relevant to today.
And that's important because a lot of sellers, they latch on to best case scenario. So they're probably thinking about their neighbors. They're thinking about when they were more aggressive than where it is like right now, where we're talking as we're heading, to the tail end here of Q3, getting ready for Q4. So, sellers they always latch on to the best case scenario. So you got to, use the data to really overcome that.
Absolutely. Data is your friend if you understand the market and you can articulate it.
Yes, sir. Brother, I appreciate you, man. Always a wealth of knowledge and information, being able to just really pour in, and always great catching up.
Absolutely, man.
Awesome, bro. Appreciate you. See you guys next time. See ya.